Welcome back everyone to my channel. This is me, Prem Kumar. Today's video is about HMRC Personal Tax Account from start to end. Little talk about how to create the account, why to create the account, who has to create the account, and what benefits, and what's the need to create this account. So stay tuned till the end. I'll little bit talk about each and everything. Doing a bit of research and personally talking with a lot of people. A lot of people actually don't create this account at all and just rely on the pay slips that employer provides for the tax deduction, for the NI deduction. And at times there are cases that your employer may deduct much higher tax or much higher NI than actually required. And then, of course, if you don't track that, and if HMRC doesn't track that for you, then you may be overpaying the tax as well. So it's really, really important to make sure you have this account where you can track each and everything. At the same time, there are some other things as well. They are really, really important, and then that you can track in this account as well. So I have already created mine in past, and of course, I keep tracking that at times I had to apply for tax refund or change my tax code via this account online. But let me show you how to get started and then what are the benefits in the account. And I'll just walk you through whole account from start to end, what you can do, why it's beneficial, each and everything in this video. So just go on the Google and you have to write HMRC personal tax account. That will give you Government of UK website link, basically personal tax account, sign in or set up, or HMRC online service. So you just click here, personal tax account, sign in or sign up. This account can be done online, or of course you can use an app as well. I got an app in my mobile as well for HMRC, but you can basically check your income tax estimate, tax code, submit self-assessment, tax refund, child claim. There's a lot that you can do. Find your NI number, check your self-assessment bill, literally each and everything you can do in this account. There are a lot of things that you can do for benefits, for employment, for your NI deductions, for your marriage allowance, whatever you want to see. Even 5 year sex history if you want to prove your residence in UK, your employment. So there's a lot can be done as well. And before we actually start and set up an account here, let me tell you, it's really important for employed, self-employed, even unemployed, or maybe retired people to really understand what's in their tax account, how much NI deduction they have gotten to, and then what's the tax estimate, payment, etc. So we'll just start with start now to sign in or set up a new account. On this web page, just go in, go right to government, get pay ID and then password and sign in. But for new users, you just have to click sign in details here. Then you have to put an email ID here. And then of course there'll be process to create an account. It's like a generic account. You have to create with the email ID, with the password, with your identification details like name, date of birth, etc. You have to put all these details and then you'll create the account. Next step then is just log in this account and then we'll get started. After logging in, you can see account home, messages, check progress for my any queries, and then of course my profile and settings that you created at the start. At the same time, account number, NI number, latest news, HMRC app, pay as you go, like current year, last year, and then down there you will see last year, before that, and then NI, child benefit, all these things that you could see earlier in the screen when we started to log in. All these things can be done, and then your annual tax summary as well, that how government spends that money. So all these are basic functions that you can access from here. In the messages section, you can see any communication from HMRC as well directly to inbox. So it just avoids, having a fake letter at home or maybe a fake message. It's all in this system. Now, in terms of the account, the first thing you can do is you can save your NI number. People sometimes struggle to find the NI number that you can track here. Next section that we walk through is pay as you earn, which is quite relevant for somebody to track their income, their tax codes, etc. Recently, what happened with me that HMRC forecasted a much higher income for me than I was supposed to be paid this year. Then I had to go online and I have to update all the details here. And the system in this section helped me to update my income. That means my tax will be deducted correctly and not a lot more than expected. So I'll just go here in the section. Either you can check current year or prior tax history. I'll just go with the current year and see, how it tracks my income. So what you can see in this section is your current employment. Like I work at Deloitte, as you know. So, my employment, how much the salary, and then the tax code, my employer reference number, and then I can update employment details. Basically, if I change the job, I can update my details in the system directly. I terminated the job with this company and just started somewhere else. I can do that online in the system and then view or update company benefits. So basically, last year my company gave me some in-kind benefits as some of sort of reimbursement, and that was captured last year. It was one time, but HMRC estimated to be recurring again. I had to move that directly here. That make sure that I am not overpaying tax. And then of course you can add a missing employer if you are doing a part-time job which has a separate income, or maybe doing a supplementary job. Then you have to make sure you write that income as well, an employer. If you have pension which is missing, then you of course need to make sure you're writing missing pension, and then missing investment income, missing income from other source, any other side income. You need to make sure you write those things as well, because you want to make sure that you pay the right tax and not avoid tax, because that comes under tax sort of fraud. here. Your tax-free amount appears here as well. Normally, it's 12,500 pounds generally for people who are earning less than 100,000. You can click here to understand how your tax-free amount is derived, and then down there you see your estimated income taxes and income tax for the year based on your estimated income. And if you click here how your income tax is calculated, you will see total breakdown. Here you can see total estimated income tax estimate that government has currently in my records, and then you can check your tax code, check your tax-free amount, and then return to the summary. And if you want to see more details, you can click view detailed income tax estimate. The point really is to make sure that all these details align with your expectations as per your pay slip, as per your employment contract. For example, if you are going to be paid 70,000 pounds per annum by your employer, then of course the system needs to reflect that. And if you see any discrepancy, you can actually update that online in the system. You can raise it to HMRC directly in the system or in the app, and they will be able to update that for you. So it's not a rocket science here. It's just knowing what you can see here. That's the purpose of this video, really, to show. And of course, I did those changes in the system a couple of times to make sure that I'm paying the right tax, not overpaying, not underpaying, and just paying the right amount. Now I will click this one to actually understand more in details of how my tax estimate is derived here. On this web page, as you can see, HMRC has estimated my total tax estimate, and that's based on my tax-free amount. And then, of course, basic rate, higher rate, they've estimated this based on the tax code. After that, the next bit that's really important, the system is tax on savings interest. Now, saving interest is based on the personal saving allowance. Like, anybody who is subject to 20% tax rate is having £1,000 personal saving allowance based for your interest income. And anybody who is 40% with respect to tax rate, then they are subject to £500 person saving allowance only. As you can see, I only earn £255 from interest. That's why I have zero tax rate. But assuming if I got like £501, then I have to pay interest on £1 and tax on £1 and additional interest. So make sure to track that. And if you don't want to pay higher interest, of course, make sure you save in ISAs, which is a different topic altogether. We'll cover that in a separate video. And then after that, what are the tax adjustment now? It's something that's carried forward from a prior year. I had a company benefit that was not captured. It's been captured here. But what this shows here is from start to end, what tax be allowance, how much you're being charged for your additional income up to 20% tax threshold, and then how much you're being charged for your 40% threshold. And after that, it goes to 45% threshold as well. So it just helps track each and everything. Also in this section, you can actually view and print income tax and employment history. It's very, really important for me when I went for my citizenship application that I had to provide 5 years, my history of last 5 years in UK, my tax compliance and each and everything. So I had to provide from here. It just generates your whole summary of your last 5 years. Other things on this web page, last year, you will see how much tax has been deducted, how much of the income estimated or put in the HMRC system, and you can cross compare to your pay slips. Luckily, I created an Excel whereby I am able to track each and everything from start to end. What's my salary, what are the benefits, and then how it translates to tax in terms of tax thresholds and rates. And I could see a difference in the amount here and in my sheet as well. So I can send that to you if you want in terms of a format that you can use to actually track your HMRC account versus your pay slips. It really, really helps. Similarly, you can actually track your before last year, and then after that, you can see your national insurance and state pensions. I'll just quickly go through, just shows you where you record and your pensions until now in terms of your employment. Here you can check your state pension summary and then national insurance record. Let's click here one. As you can see, for a full year, you have contribution from paid employment this much. So it just tracks each and everything in your system. It's really important to track that down the line, that how much you have paid. And then for state pension summary, you'll see you can get only state pension on this date. Your forecast is £230 a week, etc., etc. It's not a lot, but it just tracks from your NI that how much you are paid and how much you are eligible for state pensions. Other thing you can do here is child benefit payment to help the cost of bringing up children. So government does help partially with the child benefits, child bringing costs. You can apply that in HMRC account. That's really important to make sure you have this account. Otherwise, you cannot apply it online. Does your salary and taxation and NI align with your pay slip versus what's in this system? And is there any discrepancy? At the same time, you can also view an NI number and make sure all the communication is secure within the system itself. It's not in the messages, not in the calls, or any letters that might come out fake, because there's a lot of scams happening in the market. People pretending to be HMRC and then just threatening to pay some money in terms of overdue taxes. So all these things happen. It's just secure to create your own account. And yeah, one more last thing, it's really, really easy to do it online in the app. That's not really complicated. And the app is quite simple to use and just quite handy. Hopefully this helps. Thank you so much for watching.